welcome to another bookish video. So today's video I am doing something that I have been meaning to do for a while, and I actually got the idea from the lovely Nikki Pearson. Again, if you guys don't know by now, I will leave a link to her channel in the description down below. You need to check her out, she's lovely. So yeah, the idea for this video is the try a chapter tag. So I have picked 5 books off my shelf that I am planning on giving a read and kind of deciding whether they're something that I am still interested in or they are something that I still want to keep on my shelf. So yeah, I have picked 5 books and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about them, and then I'm going to disappear and I will read the first chapter of each book and then make a decision as to whether there'll be something I'm keeping or whether there's something that I am going to get rid of. So the first one is My Sweet Valentine by Anne Groves. It's a war romance. I don't have any of these on my shelves. This is the only one. So yeah, it says, London of 1941 is a dangerous place, especially for the tender-hearted. Tilly is passionately in love with Drew and is desperate to be his wife, but he is harbouring a secret that threatens to overshadow their love. Dulcie is reluctantly doing her bit for the war effort by comforting injured servicemen in hospital, but she is caught off guard when David, the dashing pilot from her past, is among the injured. Tilly's mother, Olive, is terrified that Tilly will marry too young and be broken-hearted by the war, but Olive's heart is beginning to thaw. Through prying eyes have seen the way she's been looking at Sergeant Dawson. As Valentine's Day approaches, the perils of war threaten all matters of the heart, and life as the women know it will never be the same again. So war is the subject of the World Wars. Was always something that I found really interesting at school, and I like hearing about people's stories and how the war kind of affected them. I appreciate this is not a true life one, but yeah, so there's that one. The next one is one I imagine lots of people have heard about. It is The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. I believe there is a film about this one, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it says, every day the same until today. Rachel catches the same commuter train every morning. She knows it will wait at the same signal each time, overlooking a row of back gardens. I can't talk today, I'm so sorry. She even started to feel like she knows the people who live in one of the houses. Their life as she sees it is perfect. If only Rachel could be that happy. And then she sees something shocking, and in one moment everything changes. Now Rachel has a chance to become a part of the life she's only watched from afar. Now they'll see she's much more than just the girl on the train. So yeah, this has got a lot of good reviews. I just don't know if it's something I'm still interested in. So there's that one. The next one, I believe, is, well, it's Robert Harris's Pompeii, and I believe it is just a fiction based on the Pompeii story, but it says, a sweltering week in late August, where better to enjoy the last days of summer than on the beautiful bay of Naples. But as Rome's richest citizens relax in their villas around Pompeii and Herculaneum, there are ominous warnings that something is going wrong. Wells and springs are failing, a man has disappeared, and now the greatest aqueduct in the world, the mighty Aqua Augusta, has suddenly ceased to flow. Through the eyes of 4 characters, a young engineer, an adolescent girl, a corrupt millionaire, and an elderly scientist, Robert Harris brilliantly recreates a luxurious world on the brink of destruction. So obviously it follows the story of Pompeii, but through the eyes of 4 different people. It is a fiction, but I imagine it's a historical fiction, so there will be some historical bits and bobs in there. Pompeii is again something that I've always found quite interesting subject. So yeah, there's that one. And the next 2 have been on my shelf for an incredibly long time. So the first one is The Snow Child by Eoin Ivy. I feel like I've butchered that. But it says, Alaska, the 1920s, Jack and Mabel have staked everything on a fresh start in a remote homestead. But the wilderness is a stark place, and Mabel is haunted by the baby she lost many years before. When a little girl appears mysteriously on their land, each is filled with wonder. but also foreboding. Is she what she seems, and can they find room in their hearts for her? So yeah, there's that one. And then the final one is Lost Christmas by David Logan. Now I believe this one is, a major film starring Eddie Izzard, it says on the top. And it says, give him your hand, Frank, let him tell you what you've lost. Old lady's lost a bangle, he knows I've lost a dog. Well, you've lost something too, let him tell you what. 11-year-old Goose is lost. It's Christmas, his parents are dead, and now his dog Mutt has gone missing. Those around him aren't doing much better. His Uncle Frank's wife has walked out on him and his nan is losing her mind. But then Anthony appears, a man who seems to know everyone's secrets, but nothing at all about himself. Who is he? How does he know so much? And can he help Goose? So begins a dramatic adventure through love, loss, and the quest for home. So yeah, they are my 5 books. I'm going to read a chapter of each of them, and then I will come back to you and let you know my thoughts, feelings, whether they will stay on my shelf or whether they will disappear. So I am back. I have read a chapter of each book. And yeah, we're just going to go from there. So obviously the first one I read was The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. I actually found the first chapter a real struggle. I didn't really feel like we had anything to do with the synopsis on the back. It just didn't draw me in, and I found I couldn't wait for the chapter to be over. So this one is going to be leaving my collection. The next one I read was Lost Christmas by David Logan. I actually found the first chapter really interesting, and it sort of left you on a bit of a cliffhanger. So I'm excited to see where this one goes to when I pick it up next time. Next up was The Snow Child. Again, I actually couldn't wait for this chapter to be over. It was really, really long, and nothing happened. Nothing happened, really, of any consequence that I really... I can understand why the first chapter is written the way it's written and what happens in it, but it just didn't draw me in at all. So that one is going to be going as well. Next up is My Sweet Valentine by Annie Groves. I actually found the first chapter of this one really, really nice and quite exciting, and there's obviously a bit of a love story in this one, so that sort of drew me in, as well as sort of the Blitz and things all kicking off within the first sort of chapter. Well, yeah, bombings and the Blitz and things like that all in the first chapter, so that was really nice to kind of bam, you're straight into it. So that one is staying. And then the final one was Pompeii by Robert Harris. Again, I really struggled with the first chapter on this one. It was okay, and I think maybe reading a bit more into it, it might be quite good, but I didn't really think anything particularly happened in the first chapter, apart from them looking for a rock and then kind of digging and seeing smoke. It just didn't interest me. It didn't make me feel like, oh my gosh, something's happening. Like maybe if it had started immediately as Vesuvius erupted and then went back to maybe how people came to it, I might have been more drawn in, but I just wasn't. So yeah, I am keeping 2 of the 5 books that I read for this Try a Chapter challenge, which is actually really good. I'm pleased that I'm not hanging on to 3 books that I really just didn't enjoy from reading the first chapter, and that is what this challenge is about. It's to give you the opportunity to try a little bit of the book and sample it, and if you're not drawn in by that first chapter, then there might not be much point in continuing. So yeah, I'm excited to see where these go when I eventually pick them up again. But yeah, that's it from me. I'm going to try and do one of these Try a Chapter tags each month, I want to say. Bear with me on that, but I'm going to try and do it each month. But that's everything for me. I really hope you guys enjoyed this Try a Chapter challenge, and I will see you guys for my next bookish video very soon.